Choose VA. Veterans get the benefits you've earned. Visit choose.va.gov. And by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Now, your hosts, Shannon Gross and Brad Sham.
And welcome, everybody. It is Victory Monday.
Let's
welcome.
Go.
Thank you. Is it just the mention of Victory Monday that gets you going?
Brad, it's been a while since it's been 3-1 Victory Monday.
2 years.
That's a long time for me.
Yeah, I
don't know how many of these years I got left. It's been too long.
Who are you talking to over here? Come on. Yeah. No, it's good. It just feels different. This whole thing feels different and good. And it's Victory Monday, so thank you. Thank you, those of you who have come out to our regular Monday night stop. And by golly, for the next couple of months, it's going to be like right here every Monday night. Games are all on Sunday for a change at reasonable times in most cases. And so we're delighted to have you here. We are on the South Concourse of the Ford Center at the Star in Frisco, and we welcome all of you who are listening around the Dallas Cowboys radio network, and we welcome those of you who are watching streaming on DallasCowboys.com, and we especially, I've been really looking forward to this one, welcome our special guest, Cowboy safety Jayron Kearse.
Welcome to the show.
Thanks for coming, JK.
No problem. Appreciate you having me here.
You know, JK does not mean just kidding in the case of Jayron Kearse. And I have been really fascinated by watching you play and the things that you've done and the way that they've used you and the way you have stepped up to every challenge. So Jayron and I were just talking a moment ago about a couple of things about the team off the air, so I'm going to ask you this one again. You're far from being the defensive team that you hope to be. You're still missing some pieces, and you've got a lot of young players, but you're, as a group, you're certainly exceeding some people's expectations, whether your own or not, I don't know. What do you attribute that to, and how do you think you're doing as a group against your own expectations?
For us, just our expectations are extremely high. Just whether it's just alone in our DB room or as a defensive unit. But I think a lot of the things we're doing is the things that we prepared for and we thought we would do. It's some areas that we still can get better at. But as far as expectations coming into the season for these first 4 games, these first 4 weeks, I feel like we've done a lot of things that nobody expected us to do, but the people that was in that locker room and the people that worked with us. So we're going to continue to keep working, and I think that by the time those guys get back that we are missing, it's going to be light years ahead of what everyone's seeing from these first 4 weeks.
What do you think you're doing as a group better? We'll talk about Jayron in a minute. What do you think as a group you're doing better than a lot of folks thought you would?
We're getting the ball. And it's not even just this year. Even coming back from last year, I think we're 4 weeks in this year. So, and I think we're like 9 weeks in a row with the turnover in every game. So it's just something that we carried over from last year. I mean, last year wasn't all bad, for the guys that was here. So towards the end of the season, they was getting it together and they was getting a lot of turnovers. So we came in this year and just knew that was something that we had to do. We had to take the ball away, give our offense a great field position when that time comes, and knowing that we got the guys like that, CD, Amari. We're not having Gallup right now. We're missing those type of guys. Zeke running the ball good, TP. So just always trying to get those guys the ball back and see what they can do when they get the ball. Everybody knows what they can do.
One of the things that really fascinates me about this team is that, and we were just talking about it a minute ago, in addition to all the rookies, you can see especially on the defensive side, all the contributions being made by rookies who were all drafted. But I've counted 8 players, and you're one of them, who came here from other teams new this year. And that's a lot to all work in and be playing and be in the rotation and be important and making contributions. Am I right? Is it a little bit of a high number for all of you to come gel together, and how has that happened?
I think the number one thing is we all have a common goal, and that's to play great defense and win football games. But it is a high number. We actually just talked about it today. Coach Quinn said something about it. We had like 30 guys throughout the first 4 weeks on the defensive side of the ball that's played in the game. And, just in the past, whether it's with Minnesota or Detroit, you don't have that, especially like within the first 4 weeks. So, we're getting everybody involved, and they believe in everybody they put on the field. And that's, I think that's taken us a long way, just knowing that we have the coaches' belief in us, rather than being a guy that's playing just because you have to play. Like, you don't have to play, but coach is putting you in because he trusts us. So I think that's a big thing. That was a big thing for me, just knowing that, I have everybody's belief. They believe in me. So, my only thing was I didn't want to let them down. So stepping out on the field, putting my best foot forward every week is something that I feel like I have to do, to prove those guys right.
Brad called you JK earlier. Do you have a nickname on the team?
Nah, really much everybody calls me JK.
JK, okay.
Yeah.
So did you know that, or did you just make that up on the fly?
I'm not that smart. Yes.
Okay.
Oh, and they call me Big Body. So
Big Body. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm gonna call you Big Body.
with
I like that a lot better than JK.
with Bohanna and Odigizua and Gallimore, and they calling you Big Body?
yeah, I think it's just is more so because I'm big for a guy in the defensive backfield. So I think that's the.
All right. Well, do you mind if I ask you about your uncle? Is that okay?
Nah, that's fine.
Okay.
That's fine.
Because I was going to maybe get to this later. And look, hey, families are private things. Everybody doesn't want to talk about their family. All right. But it appears that you're okay with it. So for those of you who don't know, Jayron's uncle is Jayron Kearse, who was an All-American at Florida. By the way, Jayron was an All-American at Clemson. I'll have you know that. We're going to get back to that in a minute. But Jayron Kearse, I knew I'd do that. Jayron Kearse, they called him the Freak because he was so big and long and covered so much ground. He was a 3-time All-Pro, and he had a really nice career with Tennessee and Philadelphia. So obviously there's something genetic going on there. You didn't get quite the girth, but for a DB, you got. Is that what you attribute it to? A little bit of genetics?
Yeah, it's mainly genetics. I'm just blessed in that aspect as far as coming from a great line. Whether it's my grandfather, uncles, my dad, just coming from guys that's big. So I guess I just attribute it to them. I guess I thank them a lot for that.
How many of them besides your uncle were high-level competitive athletes?
Really none. My cousin, Philip Buchanan, that's actually my cousin. So.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Ruining my whole Wikipedia segment right off the bat.
Sorry,
That's okay.
I
That's all right.
apologize.
No, go ahead.
apologize.
Go ahead. This is good stuff. Good stuff.
So yeah, those two, just taught me a lot. Growing up, high school ball, little league, even going to college. So, I attribute a lot of it to them and the growth that the things that they learned throughout their playing career that they brought to me and gave me knowledge in.
I got another nickname for you. You got JK, Big Body. I'm gonna start calling you the Voice. You got an
outstanding voice. I would kill in my line of work
when
for your
this
voice.
football thing is over. You need to do something with.
You know who Barry
man.
White is?
Nah.
Oh, what? Brad, are we that old?
We are that old, and so I'm going to leave it to Shannon to school you on Barry White. But believe me,
We'll talk in the break.
You're going to like it. You're going to like it. Yeah, that's another blessing that you got. You were talking a second ago about them playing you because they had a place for you. They had an idea, and you didn't want to let them down. And last week, someone asked you if you kind of knew when you signed here what your role was going to be, and you indicated that you kind of did. So did they, when you were in free agency, did they indicate that they had specific plans for you?
Yeah, I was actually, my my DC in Minnesota was George Edwards. So I spoke with George. I spoke with George ahead of coming here for my visit, and he just gave me the rundown on everything and how they visualize using me this year. Came in on my visit, spoke with Coach Quinn, and he told me he reiterated the same thing that Coach George told me, and it was just basically the same things that I did in Minnesota times 10. Like, so, I was all for it, and I just came in ready to work.
Well, George Edwards, for those of you who don't know, he's a special guy. He was on the staff here before, and then he's been with Mike Zimmer in Minnesota for a very long time. He's an exceptional coach and a terrific guy. I'm happy to call him a friend, and that's a good one to be steered by. But here's the thing. I was just watching the first few plays of the first quarter of defense from yesterday. And everybody's talking about Micah Parsons, and that's the correct thing to do. Micah's here, he's there, you don't know where he is. Now try watching 27. Go find 27. You're going to see him nose to nose on the tight end. You're going to see him playing linebacker. You're going to see him playing slot. And so I asked Jayron a few minutes ago, but I think people would love to hear it from you again. How many times have you ever had this much to do within the course of one game in your life?
Never. This is the first time that I've been put in this many positions within a week span, like one game, whereas you can be here, you can be there, you can be here, you can be there. I had times where I played multiple positions, but it would be, okay, this week we're going to play you here, this week we're going to play you here. Rather than coming in, I have to be prepared for everything. I have to know all the calls, and whether it's at the backer position, safety, nickel, I have to be ready for everything. So, it's just, and I attribute a lot of that to Coach Witt. Gets me ready every week, game planning and giving me the ins and outs and really hammering the film with me and making sure I get everything down and making sure it's not putting too much on my plate. They always make sure it's the right amount so I can go out there and continue to play fast.
I always think this show in particular is about letting fans get to know who these players are as men, as individuals, not just numbers on a shirt and with a cage on their head running around that you see from 2 miles away. And I love the opportunity to introduce Jayron Kearse to Cowboy fans and really get to know you. We're very grateful to have you here, and we're grateful to have all of you with us, as a matter of fact. And Shannon, I'm also grateful that we have sponsors that we can take a break and talk about them.
I am very grateful, too. Let me tell you about one of them before we go to break.
Would you please? Yes, thanks,
absolutely.
Shannon. Yeah.
When it comes time to shop for tailgate favorites, go to Albertsons and Tom Thumb. Get 10% off your groceries every Dallas Cowboys game day when you wear your Cowboys jersey. Albertsons and Tom Thumb, the official supermarket and pharmacy of the Dallas Cowboys.
And we're also brought to you by Luke Casey, the official bootmaker of the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders. We'll be right back on the Cowboys Hour with Jayron Kearse.
Back to the Miller Lite Cowboys Hour, supported by Albertsons and Omni Hotels and Resorts.
Welcome back to the Cowboys Hour. Brad Sham, Shannon Gross, our very special guest, Cowboys Swiss Army knife, Jayron Kearse, who has definitely won the shoe game tonight. Now, we have talked the last couple of weeks about Shannon's very strong in the sock game, although I do want to point out that you have worn those socks in the last couple of weeks on a Monday.
Did I?
Yes.
I try to mix them up.
Yeah, I know you do. I know you do. But they're great looking. There's a tremendous design thing with a big red and blue going on. But we have seen that I'm very plain because I'm wearing gray slacks with plain gray socks and gray shoes. I wasn't even trying to win this one tonight, and it's a good thing because Jayron Kearse has the purple socks, which is a strong statement to begin with, and then are those Jordans?
Nah,
just Nikes,
Dunks,
Dunk lows.
How would you describe those are some serious, good-looking kicks right there.
I don't know how I would describe them. I just, I'm a shoe guy. I'm a fashion guy actually. I like to do a lot with my dress for game days, just my shoe game, and I'm big on the fashion thing.
All right, well, we're going to describe these now to the audience, which is primarily a radio audience, and I don't know, since these cameras are on autopilot, for those of you watching on
Now watch this,
.com.
Jayron. If you want to see a professional, this is a professional radio person.
I mean, I describe things for a living.
Here we go. I'm ready for this. Let's go, Brad.
So the basic color motif is gray, and around the edge at the toe line, all the way around is white with a red sole. So you got a basic gray with a white piping and a red sole. The swoosh, the Nike swoosh is red on a navy patch, and the tongue is navy with the Nike inscription. The shoelaces are white, and then there's a part right at the top of the foot, just below the toe to the top of the laces. Is that navy or black?
It's navy.
Navy,
Yeah.
okay. So lift your left leg, elevate it just a little bit so I can say, okay, no, there's nothing different. Okay, good.
See, you want to know how someone that hasn't done this for, 40?
This is my 43rd season.
40-plus
Cowboys.
years, I would have said, that is Cowboys silver and blue with a red check on the side.
And you'd have been right. There's nothing inaccurate about what you would have said. But if this man is proud of his fashion persona and trying to make a statement with what he wears, then I think we owe it to the audience to be a little more descriptive and try to live up to. He's put some effort into selecting those shoes. I think it merits the best possible description. Those are good-looking shoes.
I've got a challenge for you. You're a fashion guy, right?
Yeah.
All right. Bring your A game on Sunday, and I'll make sure we feature you on the Cowboys Instagram.
I got you.
So bring it.
So
shoes, outfit, everything. Your best fit.
What did you wear yesterday?
I wore a gold silk button up. Who was it? By Kaiser Clark. I wore some leather pants by Michael Mary. And what shoes did I wear? I can't remember what shoes I wore, but
What color were the pants?
black.
And
black.
so with a gold button up and black pants.
Gold button up with black lining, black leather pants. Oh, and I wore some white and black shoes by Ralph Simmons.
I knew we'd get there. All I needed was for you to visualize the whole thing. It was clear that you had Now, do you know off the top of your head how many pair of shoes of all different kinds are in your closet?
Nah, it's
4 figures? In numbers of pairs, not shoes?
just about.
Just about,
yeah.
And how often do you repeat wearing a pair of shoes?
Now I wouldn't say I'm one of those guys that says I wear everything one time and then if the occasion comes, then I pick out an outfit that looks good with the same pair of shoes that I may have wore 2 days ago or 3 days ago.
Oh, 2 or 3. Okay, because if you just intentionally said I will wear them all, but not until I've worn all the other ones, you'd be 3 years before you'd get around to the next.
I just, I just go in there. I go in there, and even just like today, it wasn't
just kind of what hits you.
Yeah, I just grab some shoes and put them on.
And how far in advance? Like, have you already started? Shannon's now put you on notice, but how far in advance do you normally start thinking about what you're going to wear to the game?
I have my outfits already together, and it's just like
for the whole season.
Yeah, and it's just like I don't know what game I'm going to wear, what specific outfit, but I just on game day I'm like, okay, I'm gonna wear this. And
now, how did you happen to pick the gold and black and white and black shoe motif yesterday?
I really wasn't about to wear that, but I asked my girlfriend. I said, "What do you think I should put on?" And I gave her 2 choices, and she picked it. So I said, all right, I'll wear it.
Now, you clearly are, I would say justifiably, proud of your fashion sense, knowledge, and instinct. Do you defer to her frequently? Or do you just say, yes, dear, and just to keep peace and decide you're going to wear what you want to wear?
I mean, it just depends. But majority of the time, I ask her. I want her to feel like her
opinion
input.
matters.
Yeah, so
smart guy. See, this is a team of smart players. Yeah.
So I'll ask her. And she's usually on board with what along the lines that I was going down anyway. So,
what is your favorite pair of shoes that you own? What's your go-to? What's your favorite pair, and which ones do you wear the most, if they're different?
My favorite pair would have to be my B32 runners by Dior, black and white. But my go-to is my Mocha Jordan ones. I wear those. I probably got the most wear and tear. I actually got 2 pair because
you like them so much.
Same color.
Yeah, same
exact pair of shoes.
Shoe. But because I wore the first pair I bought, I wore it so much, it was starting to get kind of a lot of wear and tear. So I had to get another pair so it doesn't look.
So you got a dress pair and a kick around pair.
Yeah.
I got a couple of pairs of shoes.
Yeah, me too. But not those. But I might be in the market.
Do you own any Jordans, Brad?
I don't, but I actually am. I would like to. I've got too many shoes for a guy, but maybe not because we've just set a new bar. But on the other hand, I mean, look at him. The man looks good. He's got to look good. So I'm not really trying to be in that league because I'm just trying to stay in my lane. When did you develop this keen interest in fashion?
Probably my freshman year of college.
At Clemson?
Yeah. I was able to start buying more things, So
don't make me make a joke about
how
much they was paying you at Clemson, so you can now afford your award. Don't make me do that now. Come on, JK.
Nah. I just was able to, start buying more things, especially shoes. I started out just like being a big shoe guy, and then when I got drafted, I kind of turned into along the lines of I wanted to put on a nice suit, or whether it's I'm just going out in casual. I just started to kind of put together my own looks, and I started getting compliments about it. And then I was like, I actually like mixing it up.
When did you know you were good at it?
Like I said, started getting compliments about what I was wearing. People started asking, "Do you have a stylist?" I'm like, "Nah, I do this all myself." So that's when I kind of realized, okay.
Then you really realize it about that second contract, that third contract, and it's like, I really like this fashion stuff because I can afford some really cool stuff now, huh?
Yeah. I'm still working on that though. I'm still working on that.
Just think if there are more levels to go to.
Yeah.
With that, Mr. Nichols Payne, director of all things technical, I've completely forgotten the exact time. It's time? Is it time? I had a sense it was time. And there's so much more to get into with Jayron Kearse. See why we wanted to have him here as a guest? And we've just barely scratched the football surface, too. We will be right back with Jayron Kearse on the Cowboys Hour.
Better ingredient?
Back to the Miller Lite Cowboys Hour, supported by Albertsons and Omni Hotels and Resorts.
Better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's, the official pizza of the Dallas Cowboys.
That was the voice of Shannon Gross. I'm Brad Sham, and Jayron Kearse, the Cowboys safety, is our guest this evening. More fashion in a moment, but back to football first for just a second. So all of these different things that you are doing, partly because I'm sure George Edwards told Dan Quinn, hey, don't think of this guy as just a big safety now. He can do a lot of things. What are you most comfortable doing? What do you like doing most?
I enjoy man-to-man on tight ends. I enjoy it. What this league has turned into is basically tight ends are basically receivers, just big receivers. So I think when you get a player that can help you limit the big plays to those tight ends, I think you've added a unique part to your defense, because it's honestly not many safeties as big as me, and can run like me. So we have something that a lot of the other 31 teams around the league don't have, and that's a big guy that can match them in size and speed and strength.
You know what's interesting is that you are the physical dimensions you are. Israel Mukwamu is kind of a Jayron Kearse starter set, right? and then KZ and Hooker are different than that, and so is Donovan Wilson, who you guys are playing so well without so many guys, you just forget about the guys who are coming back. But does that mean that there are like specific things that you can do that they would not ask Hooker to do or KZ or Wilson?
Yeah, I think it's because I think all of our games are different. KZ's a guy that's led this league in picks before. I think he had like 8 in 2017 or 18, something like that. Led the league.
Diggs going to have that here by Thursday, I think.
So and then you got Hooker, who Malik has been a ball hawk, from his Ohio State days till when he got in the league. He just dealt with a couple injuries, and then you got Donovan. Donovan's just he's on go. He's a speed guy. He's a fast guy, and he never stops. Then you got me, just a bigger guy that can get in the box, and you don't lose the size of a linebacker, or you don't lose the speed of a DB. And then so I believe we all have our unique traits that we bring to the defense, and it's gonna be fun when we get Dono back, and I know they're gonna cook something up for how we can. Like we're all gonna have our unique roles, when it comes down to game planning and going against these teams in the league. So I'm looking forward to it.
You've played mostly special teams in Minnesota and Detroit, right? Mm-hmm. Because the casual Cowboy fan who was not familiar with your work would look at what you've done here this first month, and all of us who saw training camp said, "Well, the guy's having a great camp." And a lot of fans might look at that and say, why was he a free agent? How's this guy on the street? Have you just had coaches interested in giving you better opportunity here than you've had in your previous stops?
For the start of my career, I came into a situation which was, we had Harrison Smith, and we played the same thing, and Harrison's a great safety.
Yep.
I think he's a Hall of Famer. So it's kind of tough coming in and kind of thinking you're gonna get playing time when you're playing behind someone like that. So that's when I grew into the role of the big nickel, where they found a way to give me snaps throughout the week. But it was still tough because we still had so many great linebackers. It's just like, how do we take a linebacker off the field? So, and then Detroit, I got my first shot when I was in Detroit. Started 7 games. Feel like I played pretty good, but it was still, tough. And then just now, just being here, and just happy. Coming to work every day, I'm happy, and just being around the guys and just how they welcome all of us free agents in. I just feel good playing football here. So I think that kind of translates to what I'm putting out on the field, and I can't thank God enough. Actually, everything that's going on now has been His timing, and I'm thankful and grateful for the opportunity that I have here with the Cowboys.
Even though you have that amazing voice, you don't seem to use it a whole lot off the field. You seem like kind of a quiet guy. Is that a good assumption?
Yeah.
Kind of to yourself a little bit. But on the field, I'm down there. I'm down there when you come out of the locker room. I'm down there when you're out on the field. You're a little bit different on the field. You're a little more outspoken. And you break the DBs down. How did that come about? How did you become the vocal guy? Have you always been that way? Is that something you just kind of stepped into on this team? Like what Why are you so different on the field?
Right now, it's just we have a young team. So I think I'm like the oldest guy in the secondary.
Is that crazy to you?
Yeah, it is. It is, because I've never been in a situation where, it's, at least since I've been in the league, where I have to be the leader. Where it's like I'm the oldest guy in the secondary, and I'm 27 years old. I'm in year 6, so it's like they look to me like I've been in the league like 12 years. So,
I look at Brad, like, wow.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's just why. And I knew, coming in here, in order for us to, to be what we needed to be, we had to have some guys just had to lead. When you got such a young group that hasn't seen a lot of football, and I've seen some football. I played with great players. I've learned from a lot of great players through my times in Minnesota. So I kind of tell guys, the things I've seen. We had top 5 defense in Minnesota, and I tell guys, and preach to them what it looks like. I know what it looks like. So I kind of try to put us in that same ballpark as far as the way we move, the way we got to handle business, whether it's a walkthrough, whether it's anything, talk through meetings, or I just kind of try get everybody together. I want to make sure everybody understands the opportunity that we have. Like we talked about expectations. Many didn't have expectations as high as we have for ourselves. So we're already starting. When you start, like we're starting here, but our expectations are here. So even if we don't reach our expectations and we're here, we're above what everybody else thought we were going to be anyway. So I just kind of keep on the young guys, the guys like Micah, Ose. You got guys that's going to be great players, like for years to come in this league, but they don't know what it really looks like because they haven't seen it. They're just now, and I try to be that guy that they can look at and be like, okay, I see how he moves and how he attacks things. He watches film and things like that.
For those of us that have never been in a position group huddle on an NFL team on a game day, is there any part of that conversation you can share with us?
And repeat.
This is live radio.
In front of possible
Remember that.
children.
Not for me. Not for me. Not for me.
Do you talk to receivers?
I just go out and work.
That's a yes. That's a yes.
That's a big yes. Let me tell you something else. Those of you who are not here, and those of you who, the great thing about this being on DallasCowboys.com is if you're listening on the radio, you can go back and see it tomorrow. The smile on this man is 10 billion watts, $50,000 a smile. I mean, this is one of the great smiles I've ever seen. And it becomes a grin effortlessly. And so that is, it seems to me, part of your magnetism. And I'm sure that comes out in the personality. And that's why Shannon said that's a yes, because the smile on his face when we try to get him to say, what do you talk? And do you get, if a receiver talks back, tight ends are usually a little less chatty than wide receivers, usually, not all the time. If a receiver talks back, do you think, okay, I've got him, I'm in his head?
Not for me. I'm thinking to myself, I got to be on my A game, because you can't be a guy that talks and then not back it up. So if I'm talking to you and you're talking back, now we're in a battle all game, and I have to be on my A game all game. Already on top of how I feel like I have to play, it just goes up even more, because I can't talk smack to you and then turn out and not be who I have to be.
Now, this whole travelogue of an NFL player always fascinates me. You were an All-American at Clemson, and then a 7th-round draft choice, which, that's fine. A lot of guys are free agents. And 7th round, same thing's the 1st round once you're in camp. That's what they always say, and it's almost true. But how did you make that? That had to be a little bit of a shock to you. So you're an All-American at Clemson. Now, you talked about expectations. I always like to differentiate between expectations and hopes. But when you're an All-American at Clemson, you probably have expectations of what your life in the league is going to be like. Did you not?
Yeah. For me, that was one of my toughest days of my life. Going into my junior year, having first round grade, then playing my junior year, becoming an All-American my junior year, then deciding to come out and sitting through those first 2 days was the longest days of my life. And then day 3 came, and that was the longest day of my life. Actually, I cried that day, just because I felt like I worked so hard. I worked so hard to get to a certain point in my life, and I just felt like that wasn't going to happen. The dream of being drafted. So, it just fueled me. But it's a part of this business. You got a lot of guys that, don't think they're going first round, go first round. Guys that think they're going first round, don't go first round. But like you said, once you get in the camp, we're all right here. We're all at the same level together. And we get out there and we put our best foot forward. And I was blessed and to be able to make the 53, and I just took it from there and just kept working.
Does that 3-day period fuel you still to this day?
Yes, it does. For the simple fact that I felt like even now with everything that's going on, everything that I'm doing now is no shock to me. And just like I look at it as, I wasn't taken when I felt like I should have been taken, and then the guys taking ahead of me. I go out every day, and I look to just make sure everybody's looks dumb, for lack of a better word. You look dumb because, the guys you took in front of me, I just want to continue to show that they're not the same player I was. They don't have the same thing that I have inside of me, like whether it was speed, whether it was size, strength, whatever it may be that, you may have felt they were a better choice. I'm just working to prove that they weren't.
Well, right now the team that gave you the uniform you're wearing is looking pretty smart because of what you're doing on the field. This microphone's going to be working, Ted. If we're going to have those of you who are here with us tonight at the Ford Center at the Star who have questions for Jayron Kearse, you know the drill because most of you have been here before. That microphone will be right there, and you'll be able to ask Jayron your questions. And what have you on your super sheet there, sir?
I have another live read. Would you like me to read it before we go to break?
It'd be my fondest hope.
At the Omni Frisco Hotel, which is right out that window right there, kick off your stay at the official hotel of the Dallas Cowboys with style. That's where you guys sleep on Saturday nights of home games, correct?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, nice place, right?
Yep.
Cool off in the elevated pool, savor upscale comfort food at neighborhood services, and enjoy all the dining and entertainment options the Star has to offer. Visit omnihotels.com/Frisco to learn more and turn the next home game into a weekend getaway.
And do we have a Wikipedia page when we come back from break?
You know what? I have one right here, Brad. You've covered about 90% of it, but I can do the other 10%.
And we don't rehearse this, friends. Can you imagine? We'll be right back with Jayron Kearse.
Back to the Miller Lite Cowboys Hour, supported by Albertsons and Omni Hotels and Resorts.
Welcome back. Brad Sham with Shannon Gross and our very special guest. Look at the line forming for Jayron Kearse. Delighted to have the Cowboys safety with us. By the way, next week, Tyron Smith will be sitting in that very chair. He'll be filling up more of it than you do, but Tyron Smith will sit right in that very chair right over there. The Wikipedia page, if you don't mind, because I love this feature of the program.
You know what? Let me get this last live read out of the way, and then we'll.
I'm sorry, I thought we'd done that.
No, I think we got one
I'm
more because it's our
up.
good friends at Jack Black, and if you want to use what the pros use, Jack Black is the official men's skincare brand of the Dallas Cowboys. Visit getjackblack.com today. And now we can get to the Wikipedia page.
I so look forward to it.
All right, we've covered a lot of this, Jayron, but let's just run through what Wikipedia says about you, and then you verify whether it's correct or not. Have you Wikipedia'd yourself lately?
Not lately.
Not lately? All right. It says you're a native of Fort Myers, Florida.
True.
Where you attended Cypress Lake High School.
True.
Okay. It says as a freshman you were 5'6" and played on defense before experiencing a growth spurt. I don't know why it's got that in Wikipedia, but
I was 5'8".
You were 5'8"? Okay.
5'8",
you might want to go in and update this then. All right. It says also as a sophomore you were named the starting quarterback. True or false?
True.
Okay. As a junior, you were a running quarterback and you rushed for 1,600 yards and 17 touchdowns?
Yeah.
Why did you not stay at quarterback?
I didn't want to be
Hit.
Yeah, I wanted to be the hitter.
The hitter.
So, yeah.
Right there with you.
Can you still wing it?
I think I can.
Yeah.
I wasn't much of a passer, though. We ran the wing tee, so I was.
Oh, had some wheels on you?
Yeah, it was all running.
Does Kellen know that if he's ever got a little wildcat formation in mind that you're available and experienced?
I think I got to show him my highlight tape.
I think it'd be a good idea.
Slip that in there. I wouldn't mind seeing that. It says as a senior, you transferred to South Fort Myers High School where you played safety, running back, and wide receiver?
Yes.
All right. It says you were rated. Now, here's where the talent, the athletic ability comes in. It says you were rated a 4-star recruit by Rivals.com as well as the number 16 athlete in the nation according to both Rivals and 247sports.com.
True.
All right. You were viewed as the 7th best outside linebacker in the class of 2012 by Scout.com, while Max Preps listed you as the 15th best athlete in the nation and considered you a 4-star recruit.
Yeah.
Now, hold on to that thought for a minute.
Okay.
Did we read that last one again? The 4th best?
The 15th best athlete in the nation and considered you a 4-star recruit.
No, the linebacker part.
Oh, the linebacker part. You were viewed as the 7th best outside linebacker in the class of 2012.
Do you ever look at Micah Parsons and say, yeah, you remind me a lot of me, kid?
Nah, not much. But I did see his highlight. And it was kind of the same things I was doing. You know,
he's just shorter, right?
Yeah, he kind of put on a lot more weight than I did, you know, so.
It says you accepted a football scholarship from Clemson where you focused on playing strong safety under Dabo Swinney.
Yes.
And it says on weekends you spent your free time as a rodeo clown.
Nah, not true.
It does not say that. Doesn't say that.
It doesn't. I made that part
Yeah,
up.
okay.
I was just keeping you on your toes because you've been agreeing with everything.
I'm just paying attention,
All
and
right.
I want you to know I'm listening.
And then we covered most of this.
Wait, hold on. Everybody just stop for a minute and get a good mental picture of Jayron Kearse as a rodeo clown. You're welcome.
Got it?
Okay, go ahead.
All right. And we covered all this. You were selected by the Minnesota Vikings in the 7th round, 244th overall in 2016. And you have family ties. Jayron Kearse, former Florida Gator, is your uncle, and Philip Buchanan is also your cousin. Mm-hmm. And that is our Wikipedia update. Thanks for. I have one question before we go to the fans. The Braves hat you have on, is that just a fashion statement, or are you Braves fan?
That's a fashion thing.
Okay.
I'm not much of a baseball guy.
Did you play? Did you ever play baseball?
Never.
Just like the colors and the
Yeah.
It's a fashion thing. Okay, here we go.
All right, Jayron, my name is Bill. I'm wondering, with you being in a top 5 defense over in Minnesota, down in the locker room and such, comparing the attitudes and stuff, how are we in that level compared to a top 5, would you say?
I I think we're right there as far as just mentality and how every guy in the locker room approaches every day and how we move about everything we do. So those were some great players, and I don't want to get premature and say we're at that level right now, but we're definitely working to get there, and we have all the things that we need to get there.
Good. Bill, thank you very much. Next one.
Hello, Jayron. Congratulations on a great win yesterday.
Thank you.
I have a question. Since you are a fashion aficionado, who on the team impresses you with their fashion?
See, this is a good question. This is good.
What was your name, sir, by the way?
Rambo.
That's your real name?
That's
Pretty close.
Is that on your birth certificate?
Pretty close.
Would you like to challenge him?
No,
Because,
no, I'm good. I'm
yeah,
good.
okay.
Right here.
Man, I gotta go with Trayvon. Trayvon.
You can throw a couple out there.
Now, what is it about the way that Trayvon Diggs dresses that catches your eye?
It's just unique. It's unique. But it's also along the lines of how I dress. So,
Makes sense.
Yeah. So I can just look at it and be like, some of the same things he wears.
Okay.
I can see myself wearing. But I will Trayvon. Let's see. He's a young guy. I haven't seen much from him, but I can tell he has a little Nation. I go with Nation.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
I gotta stick with those two guys right now.
Okay,
I
that's
haven't seen enough from
That's
everybody
good. By the
else.
way, both defensive backs. I'll just point that out right there. Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Hey, Jayron. My name's Corey. What's different with Dan Quinn as a defensive coordinator versus the defense coordinator you had in Detroit and Minnesota? It seems like y'all playing a lot fast. I think I saw something on Next Gen Stats that said 10 players reached a maximum speed of 19 miles per hour, and I believe you were one of them.
It's just really, we get to play free. We get to play free. It's not a lot of thinking with this defense. He puts us in simple calls. We get fast calls. We line up and we can go play. I think that's the main thing that's allowing guys to go out there and play fast. I think the number one thing that slows a lot of players down, no matter how old you are, is just having to think too much. When you have to think too much, you're not really focusing on what's going on from the offensive side. When you don't have to think that much, you can line up and just go play ball, and I think that puts you in the best position, and I think that's what we do good.
Thank you. Corey, thank you. We got time for one more. We got 45 seconds left. Here we go.
Jayron, how you doing? I'm Jermaine. I see everybody touched on everything else, but I see your shirt, Snoop Dogg. What is the DBs listening to, or what music gets you guys hype? Is there different music in all the groups, or what do you guys listen to?
Real short on time.
Yeah. Well, we play a speaker in the locker room, and sometimes guys put their own music in their ear. Me, personally, I put my headphones in. I'm listening to Tupac, Eazy-E, Ice Cube, Snoop Dogg. I try to keep it old school before pregame, and that gets me right.
Jayron Kearse, do you love him or what? And love the way he's playing. Thank you. JK, thanks for your time, man. Shannon Gross, thank you.
Yes, sir.
That's tonight's Cowboys Hour.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?